Hello there, I am James Chittenden, founder of One Click Advisor. I'm a small business consultant, and One Click Advisor is a platform in which people can start, market, operate, or finance a business. I am with Castro of the Castro Legal Group, an immigration law firm with an international clientele and following. Anyway, today we wanted to ask about if I am coming from a country that has a treaty with the United States, and I have some investable capital. I want to start a business, maybe put people to work, but I don't have all the money in the world. What is the minimum investment of such a program, and what is that program?
So the E2 Treaty Investor Visa allows citizens of certain countries which are signatories to a treaty with the United States to make an investment in a small or medium enterprise and come to the United States to live and operate that business, the investor and their families. So an investor, it's interesting because many people do the path backwards. They will come to us and say, what is the minimum investment for an E2? And I say, well, what kind of business do you want to start? I don't know what kind of business you want to start. And that is imperative in an E2 petition because the government does not make any outline of how much is a minimum investment for an E2 visa application.
That's a surprise.
That's a surprise. But an E2 was meant to be more flexible, so much so that you can get an E2, you can obtain an E2 in the United States that would be processed by the USCIS, United States Citizenship and Immigration Services. So that's the government agency in the United States. But abroad, an E2 visa application is processed at the consulate or at the embassy. What does that mean? In about 20 days, you can have a decision on your E2 visa abroad, depending on the consular post.
Do I need a passport in order to do that if
Yes.
I'm in another country?
Yes, you will need a passport for the qualifying citizenship for your petition. But in government land, 20 days is the flesh. So you really want to ask yourself a different question. Not what is the minimum investment for the visa? What is the minimum investment to successfully start or purchase a business or a franchise that you feel is viable? An E2 is a visa type that requires continuance of an entrepreneurship. So if you start a business and it fails, you lose your visa. You need to start another business or revive that failing business. So the viability, the success possibility of your business is extremely important to making sure that you and your family can stay in the United States.
We received a couple of questions, and I'd like to ask one. Is a U.S.-based partner or a U.S. citizen partner required to get an E2 visa?
No. You as a foreign entrepreneur do not need any kind of association with a U.S.-based person or a U.S. citizen partner. I am really reluctant with partnerships. I see them go wrong more than I see them go right. So for the foreign entrepreneur, I am particularly cautious because they usually have a friend that is a cousin that has a business that made so much money in the past and now is not doing so well, but they want to help. And this help really is just an opportunity to make that foreign investor a prey to, people's lack of, morals, in my opinion. So if you're a foreign investor, maybe you have a partner that'll add something to your business proposition. That's great. But you do not need a business partner that is US based or US citizen.
What about, and this is the last question I'm going to ask, what if you need to set up a corporation or LLC in the United States and you're not a US citizen? Can you do that?
So in the state of Florida, which is where I'm licensed to give this information, you do not need to be a U.S. citizen to incorporate it. I am unaware that there is any state in the United States that requires an individual to be a U.S. citizen, a green card holder, or a visa holder to open a corporation or any type of corporate entity, better said. Now, you may need to have a certain legal status in order to obtain certain licenses. So for example, if you don't have a social security number, because you don't have a certain type of visa, you may not obtain a liquor license. So you will need the status to obtain certain benefits needed to pursue your business enterprise. But to incorporate in the state of Florida, certainly not. In other states, you would need to consult with an attorney licensed in that state. But to my knowledge, there is no such requirement. But having a corporation doesn't mean having a business. It just means
Right.
you registered a business. You want to pursue a business opportunity that will be successful, don't you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so how do you do that? How do you beat the odds? Because not everyone, in fact, the vast majority of people who start businesses in the U.S., they fail after 5 years. In fact, the statistic is only 20% of businesses that start today will still be around in 5 years. But you can beat the odds by doing your due diligence, by asking the right questions. And how do you know what questions to ask before?
If there was a book about it.
You know what? I think there is.
I think there is.
Yeah.
Well, James and I, in our time doing work, I think that James and I have two passions that converge, because my passion is to help people come to the United States and live their American dream. I'm originally from Brazil, and this country has allowed me to pursue my dreams of entrepreneurship. And James, as a business consultant, really thrives on helping people be their own boss and be successful at it. So together, we wrote 99 questions to ask before starting a business in the United States, because I brought the immigration experts. As you can see, James is not from anywhere else but the United States. His face will show that. So he clearly, as a business consultant, is not the person to give immigration legal advice.
That's you.
That's me. So where do you as an investor go to find information? So you first speak to a business consultant, then you speak to an immigration attorney, all these people, and it can be quite convoluted, quite confusing. So that's why we wrote the book, 99 Questions to Ask Before Starting a Business in the US, so that you can have the experience of having a conversation with James and I, business consultant, immigration lawyer, and you, the person looking to start maybe an E2 visa approved, or you just want to diversify your investments and you want to know what will be your options if you decide to start a business in the United States. You shouldn't have to compromise the advice of one professional over the other. With 99 questions to ask before starting a business in the United States, you will be led down a path of the right questions, which will certainly lead you to the right answers.
So to summarize, there is no minimum investment for an E2 visa.
Yes.
However, don't come here with a couple of bucks thinking that the U.S. government is going to approve your business plan. It doesn't work that way. You have to be able to demonstrate that your business has a viable chance of being successful and employing U.S. citizens as well.
Yes. I recently had a person who approached my practice about buying a business for $1 and pursuing a visa based on that.
Who would do such a thing?
I know. Well, it happens. Listen, I give kudos to that person for having the audacity to try to do something, but $1 is just not going to cut it. You're going to need a viable business plan, a realistic approach to buying an existing business or starting a business by working with a business consultant, with an immigration attorney. And I hope that the next time you're watching this video, you're watching from your house in the United States, living your American dream.
There you have it. The minimum investment for E2. I'm James Chittenden of One Click Advisor. This is Renata Castro of the Castro Legal Group. Thank you for watching. Please leave your questions and comments in the comment section below. Thanks for watching. We look forward to seeing you next time.